People keep telling you the poster is dead. If you believe that, one museum curator would like a word. Because posters are everywhere and your eyes are shut. One Skillshare class walks you into a collection of more than 4,000 of them and hands over the 6 moves behind the good ones. More than 55,000 students have taken that walk. This is Demystifying Graphic Design, How Posters Work, taught by Ellen Lupton, 12 lessons, 64 minutes, pitched at beginners and filmed inside a Smithsonian Design Museum. Here is the plan, the 6 moves one at a time, a walk through the galleries, one film poster built on camera, and what 55,000 students made of it. Move 1 is storytelling. Every story runs the same shape. It begins low, it builds, it peaks, and then it resolves. A novelist gets the whole curve. A poster designer gets one frame, which is why the good ones plant themselves at the top of the arc at the point of highest energy. Her sharpest example is 2 wartime posters with the same warning. One shows the burning ship, the lifeboat, and the wounded men watched from afar. The other shows one sailor going under, looking at you because it is your fault. Which is the whole difficulty, stated plainly. Knowing how much to put in and how much to take out. Put in too little and the story disappears. Put in too much and the drama drowns in furniture. So Chapter 2, Who is teaching? Ellen Lupton is a curator, a writer, and an educator. Senior Curator of Design at Cooper Hewitt, the Smithsonian Design Museum in New York City, and Director of the Graphic Design Master's Program at MICA. That matters because the examples are not her own portfolio. Every poster in the class comes out of a single collection, and that collection runs past 4,000 pieces, from Polish film posters to wartime propaganda. And she does not simply describe them. A whole lesson is filmed inside the galleries of the historic Andrew Carnegie Mansion, walking the exhibition wall by wall. Chapter 3, What is actually in it? Inside, it is 64 minutes across 12 lessons. 2 set the brief. 6 teach one move each, poster by poster. 1 walks the museum. And the last 3 build a finished poster and wrap up. The running order is the argument. Nothing stays abstract for long because every principle arrives attached to a real sheet of paper that somebody printed. A Swiss exhibition poster, a piece of political printing, a Polish poster for a Hollywood film. You are not handed rules. You are shown evidence and asked to copy the method rather than the picture. And one lesson dwarfs the rest. Creating a poster runs 10 minutes and 39 seconds, building one film poster from a list of nouns to a finished sheet. Move 2 is the diagonal. She puts a poster on screen with its type set dead straight and calls it what it is, boring. Then she tilts the same words a few degrees and the sheet comes alive. Angles suggest motion and they suggest depth as well because lines converging into the distance are how we read space. A road in a landscape painting is doing the same job. There is a second kind of depth in this lesson, and it is the quieter one. Keep the lines parallel instead of letting them converge, and you get isometric projection, an architect's space you can actually measure. She shows posters where letter forms are treated as a floor plan and then extruded upwards into buildings, so a single word becomes a city you can wander around with your eyes. Then she starts taking things away. 8.5 minutes on how much you can strip out of an image before it stops meaning anything, and on what you put back in its place. It opens with a piece of research. A scientist asked people around the world to draw a coffee cup. Almost nobody drew the view they actually have looking down into it. They drew it from the side because a side view is the icon we carry around in our heads. Start from that stored picture and then twist it. The twist is the second half of the move. A poster for an exhibition of light fittings makes its bulb the darkest thing on the page, with the color pushed out to the rim glowing. The brightest object in the room printed black, simple enough to read instantly, odd enough to keep you there. One element can also do 2 jobs. She shows a portrait reduced to nothing but a haircut, with the title set exactly where the eyes should be because that is where your eye goes first. It finds the words instead. That is simplifying with something to say. Move 4 is overlap, and it starts with a small trick of perception. 3 dark squares scattered across a page are just 3 squares. Line them up and your eye insists they are one band running behind the pale shapes in front of them. Nothing has moved any closer to you. The alignment did all of it, and breaking that alignment kills the effect instantly. Then comes transparency, which is the same illusion with the lights on. Where 2 transparent shapes cross, the ink doubles, the color intensifies, and both shapes stay readable through each other. Her practical advice is to count as you work. How many planes are you asking a flat sheet of paper to hold? 3 is usually plenty. A background, a middle ground, and one thing right at the front. Move 5 is focus. An early 20th century style put one product in the middle of the poster and nothing else at all, and she reads those sheets the way a stage designer reads a set. The light falls where the action is and everything else stays dark. Then comes the refinement. Sit that object dead straight and it falls asleep. Tip it a few degrees and it moves. The other end of the spectrum is just as deliberate. The psychedelic posters of the 1960s use colors so close in value that your eye can never settle, and the discomfort is the point. Other designers leave a hole in the middle and let the type wrap around the void. Both are strategies. The dull posters, she argues, are the ones where the designer never chose. Move 6 is the strangest of them and the most fun. Do something to the surface itself. Saul Bass set his 1961 film poster on fire, and the burning became the whole marketing campaign. Burn it, tear it, smudge it, cut it up, and be ready to ruin a few. Then the project, which is a film poster for a movie with a plain object in its title. Hers is the birds. Before a single sketch she writes lists, nouns first then verbs, because a poster has to move. Swarm turns up on both lists, and that is the one she keeps. The build is refreshingly ordinary. Loose sketches because a sketch costs nothing to throw away. Real ink for the drawing so the line stays alive. Then 3 finished directions, and the assignment is to post all 3 for the class to read. Now the verdict. So, does it deliver? 94% of students said the class met or exceeded their expectations. 53% said it exceeded them outright. On the most liked board, Helpful Examples takes the top tag with 432 votes, and Engaging Teacher sits just 7 votes behind it. Then Clarity of Instruction, Organization of Lessons, and Audio Quality, with Actionable Steps at the back on 269. Which is a fair portrait of the class. Nobody is praising a set of rules, they are praising the pictures and the person walking them past the pictures, which is what an hour built out of a museum collection should earn, which leaves one last question. So who is it for? Designers who freeze at a blank page because 6 named moves are easier to start from than taste alone. Illustrators and image makers, since every move here is about what to leave out, and anyone who loves posters. If you came for software instructions, skip it. Nobody opens a tool panel. Because underneath the diagonals and the icons, the class makes a larger promise. One she says out loud in the lesson on simplifying. Get rid of the junk and start with a poster. Learn to take things out, she says, and then apply it to your whole life. It is half a joke, and it is also the real lesson, because deciding what to leave out is the entire job, which brings us to the verdict. So the verdict, worth 64 minutes. Comfortably. You leave with 6 named moves you can point at in any poster you pass, a museum tour you would otherwise need a plane ticket for, and 1 complete poster built in front of you from a list of words to a finished sheet. It is included with a Skillshare membership, and there is a free trial, so an hour of your evening is the entire price. One last thing before you go. Click the link in the description. It gets you in free through Skillshare. Then do the exercise properly. Pick a film with a plain object in its title, write the nouns, write the verbs, and make 3 posters instead of 1. That is the assignment. See you in the next review.